I don't remember what I said. It was probably clever and amazing and super funny, whimsically brilliant. But somebody forgot to hit the audio record button.
No. We do so many recaps that last so many hours, and the card ran out.
Someone forgot to check the cord.
No, I did check it. When have we used 25 gigs of audio? Usually one is 6 gigs.
Well, that's not a 25 gig card, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. There's other things on there because you just got me a new backup drive.
Welcome, everyone, to
Still
another... Yeah, welcome to Showmance. We made it. We made it from last week to this week. If you weren't here last week, we are Showmance. We're the best show on the internet doing deep dives on shows with no depth. And last week, it was a little touch and go. Maybe Natalie and I didn't talk for a couple of days after we filmed, but that's what lovers do sometimes. No big deal. Okay, what? Do not listen. We're not going to do this again.
No.
Please.
Can't take it.
Listen, I thought I would get a couple of people being like, I guess people have spoken.
Many people have
Half
spoken.
the people have spoken.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's half of a lot more than I thought they would.
I
you
told
followed
you,
me, just having
whoever-
to be nominated. And no, I
Dude.
truly appreciate you following me on that really long ride.
No.
And it was a rough ride.
You know
I'm
what's
not gonna
funny?
sugarcoat that. I get that. It was 90 minutes of me just taking a baseball bat to these mofos, just to try to get some open-mindedness. Maybe they should do more drugs. I don't know. Next time.
I just took some melatonin, so I'm ready to get weird.
Great.
Wait,
before
are you going to
show
get
your
tan
podcast.
while you're here?
No, not melatonin.
Never mind.
Maybe
Anywho,
he wasn't a worthy
it
opponent.
seemed like most of the people agreed with Courtney and I, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, let's
and
leave
we'll
it
move
at that.
on
Great.
to another show. You know what's funny with your little
you are being
Oscar?
properly represented here, and I know that.
Okay. Your little Oscar speech that you just did, I had a funny idea. I was like, oh, we should get in like I was like going to tell Courtney to wear like a fancy gown, and I was going to do like one of those tuxedo shirts and to start with like a,
An acceptance
ladies and
speech.
gentlemen, the award for best actor goes to Shep Rose, and then be like, oh,
Shep
Yeah.
Rose. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
you meant because like you won, which would be more of like a what's that movie that they called the name, but that movie didn't
La
really
La
Oh
win.
my
Land.
God. Anyway, the point is that sometimes you win and then you lose.
Another point is sometimes you see a person who you have like, oh, you're this person, right? And then they say something that blows that image completely out of the water.
Did someone do this to you, Mark?
Venita did this to me.
Oh, Venita,
Oh.
who are you?
And
I
I'm
don't
not
know
allowed
you.
to
I never knew
repeat the
you.
comment
I never knew
'cause
ye.
I've been told not to, or I'll be grounded.
The tutor and the cooter. That's what it was. Nat can't ground me.
Oh,
I don't live here.
okay.
This is true. Yeah. Venita is so perfect and cute, and like that, I
Is
was
she?
like, what? I think so.
Oh, I think
Venita
she's
had
like a
a-
little doll. She's so
Yeah.
cute.
Venita, you had a bad episode.
Everyone had a bad
Listen,
episode. The
look,
episode was bad.
Like from an aesthetic, like Venita's struggling for sure. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but like Venita is just like, we're always talking about how perfect Madison is all the time. I think Venita is that person.
Same.
Madison has an off day.
Oh my God, that cute.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, are you the what?
I was going to say that cute pink dress she has in her confessional with the little cute little ponytail and
Is
the
she
sparkle.
on drugs? What kind of thing did you just take?
No,
That's the
and,
most
but I'm not even
disgust-
like I'm
What
not
about
even
the one with the
judging her
little
on that.
fake,
There's,
little diamond bow tie things on the?
I like all of Venita's
Oh,
outfits.
I don't like all
No,
of them. Some
Venita,
of them,
yes.
That's what I'm saying.
that little
Okay,
one piece suit
no,
when
but
she was like
Madison
shaking to get in.
had
Oh,
this-
no.
some
I'm talking
silly
about
ass
Venita's
outfits.
hot pink.
Oh
look.
yeah, she's great. But I'm saying like we always talk about Madison being great.
Madison had a pale pink dress on last week that I was like, what can you not do?
Yeah. Anywho,
Just gorgeous. This woman is gorgeous.
gorgeous.
100%. I'm not saying she's not. I've seen Madison and like once or twice only, and been like, meh. I don't know about that one. I
Yeah,
don't
she has
think
one
I've yet
Once or
confessional
twice,
seen.
Madison. I'm so sorry you didn't give this guy a boner 2 times in his life.
Are we gonna do this again? I'm just saying, like Madison's 98-2, Venita is 100-0.
I know that this is totally doesn't matter to the storyline, but there is no storyline, so who cares? I get very nervous when I watch people contour. Like, I know it's going to come out great and look far better than I could ever do my makeup. But when I saw Molly just smear chocolate pudding all over her face.
Dude, you said the P word too, by the way. You're not allowed to say that on this show.
Pudding?
Why did
Oh,
you say
sorry.
it again?
That word. I love pudding.
Stop.
Pudding.
Well, everybody has a thing, and that's my thing, the P word.
How would I ever know that?
We've been
Chocolate
friends for
pudding.
15 years,
This is
Courtney.
true.
No, I wish you had that headphones on so you could just hear pudding.
I would take them off and throw them at you. Yeah, I'm a dude. I don't do a lot of makeup. But I was like, are we going paintballing or playing football? Like, she looked like a goddamn linebacker for the
was
San
intense.
Francisco 49ers. What
Wait,
the hell
okay,
was that?
Maybe this story will make it because none of my stories make the cut. If anyone wants to hear some great,
They're in Patton Bar.
That's why people are still going to UPS, is because
I was gonna
Courtney's
say, if anyone wants
UPS
some real
stories
bangers
don't.
of a UPS story, come to me. So I'm not a sports person. I've never been a sports person. I couldn't care less about sports. Okay. And I dated a professional baseball player once, and like really dated, like we were going places until we weren't. That's how life happens. And
That's
so,
when I met Courtney. A puddle on the ground.
it happens. So I go to a baseball game. I've never been to a baseball game before. I mean, like, of course, like little league games, but they're different. Take it from me, I now know. And so I'm looking at the guys in the outfield, and they got the stuff on them. And after the game, I went up to my boyfriend. I'm like, that stuff is so ridiculous. The schmear that the outfielders are wearing. And he's like, what? Pray tell, why is that ridiculous? And I'm like, we can still see you. That's not camouflaging
Oh
you.
my Lord. Is that when he broke up with you?
No, he's like, it's to reflect the sun out of their eyes. I had no idea. I
Wait,
thought
but
they were
you
trying
thought it was trying to
camouflage because they were in the outfield.
camouflage what? Their whole body?
That's why I said it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not working.
That one's
That's
definitely not making
gonna
the
make
cut.
it.
We're
No,
trying to
my
have
hand
a-
to God. That's
do
really
you
what
know
I thought.
that Glitter Army will literally take a nicer wrist?
Glitter Army will be at the American Airlines terminal.
We're just gonna hear boom, boom, boom.
And then just an explosion
Glitter.
of glitter. Totally.
I got news for you. Glitter.
Dude, I'm so sorry, Glitter Army. Dude, blasted like the porch pirate guys.
And you will never get that off of you.
Never
Glitter
in
is
a
the
million
herpes of
years.
crafting. It's on you
That's crazy.
forever.
All right, moving on.
Oh God.
What?
No, every time I laugh, I cry now. Like
Me
it's
too.
just,
For different reasons. Anyway, top of the pops. Let's get
Top
into
of
it.
These puppies.
I want to know, is
But-
Sally the new Madison? I know I've already asked that before.
She's not.
Might have been premature, but can she
She's
at
not.
least be?
She's not.
She's not.
She's
not.
She's in training,
She's
and you know what?
not.
Someone's got to go on maternity leave soon, so we're gonna need to fill in. So you better make it count.
No,
wait.
I think Madison planned that baby off season. But I don't think Sally's the new Madison.
No.
I don't think
Listen,
so.
we
Why do we
ship
need a
casting.
new Madison?
Yeah.
No,
We have
don't.
Madison.
But
Yeah.
all I'm saying,
Oh God, I feel this coming again. I don't like it. This is a death
Oh my
rattle.
God. All I'm saying is that I really very much appreciate whoever thought that it was very important to bring Sally's voice to the show, because I think that I think that she's just had a really solid episode. I think she's going to be a very valuable asset.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And we'll get to the classic Bravo family dinner in this episode where she shined. But I don't think she's the new Madison. I think she's the
Listen,
new
no one's
Catherine.
the new what?
Whoa.
No.
Here we go.
No, okay, worst take ever. Not even in the ballpark. It makes no sense.
Why?
I'm not going into it.
Sorry.
Okay. Do you think, because it seems to happen in every episode while they're like on vacation or together, Taylor is like a natural checker-upper on everyone?
I do.
Or if that's a producer being like, hey, Taylor, go check up on everyone.
I think she's paying her next set of dues. Like, I think they started her back at square one after her season and all of her BS, and now she's just like that's the nice thing to do. Nobody hates a checker upper. That's a nice thing.
This
Like
is
I
true.
think she's a natural checker upper, but I don't think it's completely altruistic.
Yeah.
I think she wants to like, oh wait, where's Shep? What are you doing? Wait, you guys went out after dinner last night? Like, I think she likes to keep tabs a little bit.
True. Tab keepers. They got back from the fish fry and the snorkeling, and Austin pulls a muscle getting off the bus, which is pretty cool. We left at that. Yeah, been there, done that.
You just saw us get up after a 2.5 hour episode, and I literally walked to redo my lip liner, bent over.
Oh God.
But yeah, and then they went and got ready, and that's when Taylor checked in, and Molly got ready for a football game, yeah, then they came back down and got on the bus to go to dinner,
Which is
and
where
everyone was so mean to JT.
But before that, they got to dinner and were mean to JT. This is where my first note comes in, and it's just, Whitney,
Dude.
once again, what are you wearing?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else.
No, I will, but that comes later in the episode when we actually hear him talk more.
For me, my note came right then.
Okay, what is it?
That like listen, this isn't going to be a hot take. There's probably going to be so many people who are like, yeah, thanks, idiot. I foresee a breaking news in the reality TV world. Whitney, whatever his name is, Sudler-Smith, checks himself into rehab.
Yeah, no, that's my note. But later when in the episode when he's slurring his words on the bus.
Dude, I think he walked out of that hotel a little
Shocker.
glass-eyed
No, I didn't notice
and
it
on the
until
bus.
that the getting back in when he's like, no, don't go home, JT. Just talk to
dinner
Madison.
too.
This is what you need to do.
At dinner, they kept cutting
but his
to him.
upbringing still always comes out in his drunken, pill fueled tirades, where he's like, check in with Madison. She's the most grieved.
She's like, have a diplomatic company of
Yeah.
Geminims conversation.
Yeah, dude, that guy is.
Just so
He's in a-
we
he's
can
in a
go to
bad
the
situation.
casino.
Yeah, when he says the thing about like, oh, warm oysters, am I right? And I want to be like, yeah, bro, when you mix them with the opiates.
No, what he's
Barf
saying
City,
is,
baby. That's one shuttle bus away from Barf City.
No, he said this. I made this note because this is what I constantly talk about with him that annoys the crap out of me because he makes money, his personality, which is not a personality. It's not a good personality, as Mike likes to remind me, but I don't think it's a personality at all because you have nothing to offer. You can get oysters in different climates. So he goes warm water.
Yeah, well, that's
oysters.
what I meant. I just didn't say water, but yeah, no, I know.
I thought you
that-
meant the temperature of them were warm.
No, just that he prefers them in the cold water, like
Like
there's
from, like,
just two.
Maine.
Yeah, there's two different.
Sorry, I'm an
yeah.
asshole.
No, I just forgot a word.
Like when he leans over to Venita, he's like, warm water, oysters. Am I right? It's
Yeah.
like, you're just, shut up.
Yeah, no,
Like,
you're
eating
feeling
oysters,
nauseous.
drinking champagne.
Yeah.
So I just again was so offended by his outfit and that weird belt with like the silver tip on everything and your tuxedo jacket. Like, where are you, dude? Like,
Whitney
read the
Lane.
room. It's so bad.
Did I tell you about when he did I came across on YouTube that he did a house tour of, well, I guess it's his home now,
Yeah.
but and he introduces himself as hello, I'm Whitney Sudler-Smith, executive producer and sometimes star of Southern Charm.
Never star.
Never star. I don't even know what like fly that nobody has been trying to swat and no one's been successful. Go on.
We get to the dinner.
Man, I would hate to be on Madison's bad side.
Yeah, Madison and Paige, come for them. I would love
mean.
this.
Paige, I think
get
I
it.
could deal with getting yelled at, just me personally, like me being me. No, I think I would rather get yelled at by Paige. Madison would hurt my feelings.
Well, don't do anything wrong.
I'm not
then.
gonna lie. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
wait.
I just kidding. Your dresses were so pretty.
Maybe Venita does actually like JT. She said, and I quote, there's a different kind of joy in the room.
Yeah, I don't understand this at
When
all.
JT
And why
is
is
there.
JT sending her outfit picks choices if JT's got this girlfriend that I don't really believe that he has?
Like, that's a kind, thoughtful, genuine statement to say about someone.
Yeah,
I think
don't know
she
what's
really
happening with
did
those
like
two,
him, which
but-
I never the twain shall meet with
Yeah.
these two for me.
Then we get to the good old fashioned Bravo group dinner.
The best.
They really are
They're
the
the
best.
gifts
That keep on
giving.
giving.
Yeah.
First, before they go in on JT, they're obviously talking about the Shep of it all and Sienna, and like, of course she's not at this dinner, and Craig is saying he's been basically in a tailspin all day about this and just saying what's going on, and Austin was so annoyed, thinking he has no empathy for Shep because he's saying all of this. Were you guys reading it that he was saying it in a really nasty way?
Yes. And for what? Like they've been neck and neck on that this whole time. And then even when it goes to his interview where he says the thing about like he just has no empathy, it immediately cuts from the interview back to Austin. I'm sorry, it cuts back to Shep rereading the text. Once again, rereading his text to Molly, who's like, that's so poetic. Okay, that's another. Okay. Back to Austin. From there, it goes to Austin, and you hear Austin go, I hear Sienna's name. He says it to everyone at the table. He's doing the exact same thing. He's been neck and neck with Austin this whole time with like the glares and the, what did you say? And the, like, why are you going out of your way to like make an issue with Craig about this? It's like, you're
Hold on.
doing the same thing. Everyone,
But
and
are
it's
you
deserved.
saying did we feel like Craig was being nasty?
Yeah.
Oh, Craig or
Yeah,
Austin?
Craig.
Austin was going in on Craig, being like, he has no empathy for
Yeah.
Shep. Why would he bring this up at the table? He's
Which
being
is
so nasty. And I was just curious, I couldn't make a hard decision on if I thought Craig was being super nasty in that moment.
No.
Like
Yeah,
he kind
I
of.
don't think Craig was being nasty. I think Craig was being fed up with his buddy. As I said last time, you probably don't remember because you're blinded by rage.
Blinded by winning.
Whatever. But like when they were like, brush your hair, put a shirt on, like Craig was starting to get irritated at this dude. Like that was the note. I was like, again, if this is a redemption arc, right? Everybody's doing so good. Like Craig's in on it. Austin's now in on it. Craig's going around being frustrated that this guy just can't fucking get over this girl. It's like, it just seems, no. It seems like Craig's just annoyed that this dude won't see clearly.
Yeah.
I don't think he's being nasty.
Yeah, I didn't take it as he was being that nasty. But then when Austin kept saying it, I'm like, wait, am I missing something? I definitely think Craig gets frustrated and he doesn't know how to just be in his frustration and calm himself down and do like a breathing technique or something, because he always has to remove himself. He's like, I'm going to the bar to get a beer. And it's like, listen, I get that which is good. Obviously, remove yourself before you say something that is incredibly hurtful. I just feel like this guy is in a place with Sienna, actually without her, which is why he's in this tailspin. And I don't think anything he said was out of line or rude. And so just say what you got to say and shut up, because it's not ending.
Yeah, I agree. I think he went to the bar too because that was right after. I think the JT thing had started already, and it was right when Madison realized that like maybe she hadn't gotten the whole true story, and she shot Craig a look. It was right after she was like, "I'm not going to embarrass you in front of all these people, but I will talk to you tomorrow." And then she looked over at Craig and shot him a look. It reminded me my grandma. My grandma never yelled at me because she didn't have to. She just shot you one and you pooped your pants and you knew that whatever you were just doing, don't ever do that thing again and you'll be fine. And that was when Madison glanced over at Craig. I was like, Grandma? And that's when Craig was like, oh, stand behind what I say. I'm going to the bar. And he walked away, and you couldn't tell because he had dark pants, but there's a big old poop in there. She scared the shit out of him. That's why he left.
Okay, well, I'm glad we got clarification on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You need not look further than watch what happens live. That is sort of I think it's probably more of a problem for the productions, because you get to watch it live. And when they're commenting on things that happened, those things happened however many months ago. The time that she went on there, we've both seen this clip, I'm sure all of America has, where they are asking her question after question about Who's the best friend? Who's the most trustworthy? Who's the best boyfriend? Who's the best business guy?
Historically, who has been a better friend to you of these three?
Craig.
Who does your husband, Brett, prefer of these three?
Craig.
Who treats the women in their lives with the most respect?
Craig.
Who is the most addicted to fame of this group?
That's between Shep and Austin.
Who sucks up to Patricia the most?
All of them.
Who do you think has the best business sense?
Craig.
Who will make the better husband someday?
Craig.
Who suffers from Peter Pan syndrome the most?
Austin and Shep.
How old is Austin?
Too old to be acting the way he does.
Who can keep a secret?
None of them.
Who's the biggest gossip?
Austin.
Austin. Who is the more thoughtful friend?
Craig.
All right.
Craig.
She answers Craig to every single one of them. The only one she answers Shep and Austin to are the ones, like who's the biggest fame whore. So I think Craig somehow rises above this controversy. I don't know what is going to happen at the reunion, but Madison's not one to hold back.
I got a theory on Craig. Theory on his lying. Craig reads through the lines. Like, Craig thinks fancies himself to be an intellectual and so smart that he's the only one that knows pandas aren't real and that we all used to be fish and that's why we hiccup. The lawyer in him, the technically a lawyer in him, he hears someone saying something and he's like, I know what you're really saying though. And then when he goes to retell that story, he's going to tell you the story, what JT really meant. He's going to tell you what Shep really meant. He's going to tell you what JT really was talking about when he was saying that Madison was wearing his shirt, right? JT never called Miss Patricia a bitch. He never said the word affair with Madison, but he intimated both of those things, and Craig knew that. And so Craig was like, yeah, but you did. You did. And so I think that's how Craig gets away with his lies, because to Craig, they're not lies. He knows what you're really trying to say. You just don't have the balls to say it, so I'll say it for you in a roundabout way. So I think that when he's like, I stand behind what I said, of course you do, because you believe what you thought JT said, or you believe what you took from in between the lines. And I think that's why we all think Craig's a liar, and maybe that is lying. I don't know. I knew up until the other day, but this kind of threw me. I was like, I think that's Craig's deal, and I think that's how he gets out of lying.
I need to hear what Chrissy Sheeks thinks. Quite honestly.
Listen,
I feel like
Chrissy
Chrissy thinks well of Craig and sees the best, and I just need to know what you think of that wild take.
It's not that
because
wild.
it's not. I don't know where I land on it, because it seems like you are giving Craig the benefit of the doubt of that, it wasn't exact, but he knew what he meant. Sorry,
go ahead.
Words matter. Call me a bitch and I'm out. So if you called me something else, maybe I wouldn't be out.
You're being so difficult, as opposed to being such
something like that.
B
But
word.
if I heard that, I would shut down immediately and be like, well, that's it. I just is triggered. I don't know. I hate that word too. God, I'm so sorry. Triggered and bitch. Anyway.
I actually agree with Mike.
Could you imagine if I was like, you're acting like a triggered little bitch?
I can't imagine.
I agree with Mike on this. And I also was going to say kind of what Natalie was saying, where it's like, that's all well and good that you think you can cliff notes everything that people say. But the problem is, if you're putting a derogatory term towards an older, respected woman in the community, such as I called her a bitch, that's actually not what he said. And those are two very different things. To just be like, she was acting funny when I handed that to her, right? As opposed to saying she was a bitch.
Yeah, listen, I agree, and I don't think what Craig does is right, and I might
and
be
we don't
wrong.
know if he is.
Yeah, and exactly, I might be wrong. It's just literally, it was the way he was going about all the things, and then I was kind of going back through in my head and being like, Craig is it kind of clicked that he's a read between the lines guy.
And also, this is a note that you hear on a lot of different in the Bravo sphere from people that have worked with him. Like Kyle
That's
has said
consider
it.
the source.
Okay.
Because I have a note about that.
No, I agree with you. However, some of the others,
Whoa, guys.
some of the other Bravo people have dropped that phrase about Craig that he's a big old liar. So I feel like, and again, you're going to say consider the source. I want to say like Carl said it to Paige at one of the reunions. He's like, "You're dating the biggest liar on Bravo," was I believe his quote. And I don't actually think Carl is a crazy liar.
The guy
I think
living the lie?
just live. Yeah, he's just living a lie. He's not actually a liar.
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
you know, on small things.
Yeah, I've heard him say something like in that vein about him too.
And I feel like a lot of people on Southern Charm have like throughout the years just said, you know, well, Craig's a liar.
Yeah. I always wonder, like, when's the last time, aside from this, because, you know, he has said that they weren't mic'd when this conversation happened. So I don't know, like, we just keep on popping back to the scene because that's the scene that the editors gave us, was just when they're at that golf thing. So I have always thought that when JT defended himself on that, when Madison accused him of it, I have said I've thought it from the second I watched his face, like the way he did everything and his response, that he was thinking about it in his head going, I didn't say that on camera though. I didn't say that. I don't think there's any, because he goes, I don't think I've ever called that woman that word. Like the way that he says it, the slow walking, brain tick-tocking, like it all to me has, before we've known anything about anything, I've always gotten that immediate reflex of,
But-
you did say this, but it wasn't in where, you know, in your mind, there's no evidence of this. I made sure of it. I'm not an idiot. You're an idiot, but you know, not that big of an idiot.
I remember you saying that when that happened. But if you go back to like, that's JT's kind of dramatic MO on this show.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
thinking the
remember
same
when,
thing.
Yeah.
when he was at his after party thing and he was like, but Molly, don't pretend like you don't know. You were the other woman.
That's
That
the
was
thing.
like, he has this cadence to his
So he
like
called
big
her-
reveals.
Called her. Okay, let me
Molly or Sally was
just,
the other
you're
woman.
talking about Sally.
Sorry,
Let me
Sally.
just switch. So I just we'll get right, like, let's just get back into
the dinner.
the dinner. Sally, I stand Sally for saying, not sitting next to you.
Yeah, 100%.
And then him
Wait,
trying to
totally.
be like, this is all you need to know about JT. He's pissed off everyone at the table. He's there, though, to pander to Madison and Miss Patricia. So Whitney, basically. Because those two are the only ones that have, like, when I say that Madison has power, I just mean that I think she's got power. Like, I think that if Madison ever said it's him or me, come on, like it's a done deal. Like, you don't even blink. Like, it's done. And then Whitney, whatever his role is, God knows. He had said to Sally, you were the other woman and you had a full-blown affair. He said that to her in a room full of people, cameras. He's like the middle of he's like Jerry Maguire, king of the living room, you know, like he's right there, mic'd up, cameras everywhere, room full of people. Your guess, by the way, you barely know Sally. And then she goes, just to confirm, are you saying that I home wrecked? Before she could even finish the sentence, I did. You did. Like, he will say this about women. He clearly has no problem saying, like, he said it outright, about it, ready to shout it, like, was pretty proud of himself in the moment, thought he was the hero of the night. So he doesn't have an issue with calling women anything, I don't think. Like, that was the tackiest shit I've ever seen.
But anyone could
do on
be
this
a home
show.
wrecker, right?
I think there's a difference.
There's a difference, yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
there's a
know this
difference
woman.
between
He's
calling a
invited her
woman a
into his
bitch.
home/event space, and then he calls her.
There's a difference between calling a older lady or any lady a bitch.
Sure. But these are the same. This is the same family of things. Like, that is a direct attack on a girl that you don't know. That is some very specific slut shaming in front of a group of people. Like, it's all very derogatory,
But it's not
female driven,
slut shaming.
derogatory,
It's
female centric.
It's cheat shaming. Like, apparently the woman was a friend of his, right? That Gaston was with, right? So he's defending this person, right? He clearly, as we know now, which is weird, like, and I commend it, but like, I don't know if he has a girlfriend. So the whole like, I can't cheat. I'm like, cool, yeah, good for you. But like, I don't think you have a girlfriend. So like, what are you doing? Just go bang Venita, right? So not of this story, but he's clearly very much not a fan of the cheaters, right? So it's different to me calling a lady a bitch because she wouldn't take a gift and going off on a girl who's a cheater and who kind of home wrecked, in your opinion, of your friend's relationship. Like, there's a difference between that. Like, I think you could go out like, God, you're gonna get so mad at this, but
This is just how this is asinine. This is the same family of stuff. He doesn't know that girl. He humiliated her in front of a room of people. He doesn't have problems with going at a woman. Doesn't have an issue with it.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, I understand
Going at a woman for doing something that you think is morally,
which it feels like he's doing the same exact, like she straddled me twice. I'm sorry. You could not, no one could straddle me twice. You straddle me once, shame on you. Straddle me twice.
We're doing it.
Shame on JT, you little dweeb. I just think it's a very odd thing to then agree that you're going to allow, like, I know that you hate cheaters. I know that cheaters make you absolutely insane. You would never agree or decide to like give yourself a story that you were a cheater or that you were like in a position where I've got this beautiful woman on top of me and I pushed her off doing all I can here. Like, that's just, those two things don't go. He doesn't apologize to Sally. Apologizes to her, zero. Says something like, sometimes I get ahead of myself. I need to work on that. That's it. Moves on. Because what is Sally? Sally's a freshman, a receptacle for his senior status, the only one. He's got like 1 year on really.
I was going to say he's a sophomore at best.
Yeah, at best. Yeah.
not even at best, at literal. This is
Yeah.
his
Okay. I couldn't
sophomore
remember
year
for
on
sure
the
if he was
show.
2 or 3. The things he said about Austin, like no debate on that. It was exactly what it was in the scene. Doesn't say anything to Austin. Only there to apologize to the two people that like, he said some weird shit about Madison. They asked him to stop several times. He kept going. He's still going. Shep even, like Shep said, oh, I didn't hear the other thing. But Shep even had to say like, I don't know what, the things he was talking about were so far out there that like, I didn't even listen. I don't know why I don't expect Shep to say that he heard anything he didn't hear. But JT, it's just, that's all you need to know about him is that like, he called out this woman that he doesn't know in front of everyone for a story that like, I'm sorry if you didn't ask her side of it. Like, that's just that's messy. It's super messy.
I'm not saying this is right, but I think he thought he was getting vindication for his friend.
His friend, no, he was trying to get to Taylor.
No, I'm saying, I'm saying what I think JT was thinking. I don't believe this. I think JT went in to like have that gotcha moment with him because he feels his friend was wronged.
But
And that's why he's still,
because he wanted Taylor to know that this is the guy you're dating. It wasn't for his friend. He's trying to get the girl that he's been obsessed with since day
either
one.
way, they
don't matter though. Like they're not the same at all. Like you're using your friend as a scapegoat. Oh, here's why I'm doing this. You're pummeling a woman who you've never met and don't know the full story, all to get a girl who has told you, thank you, no, thank you, several times. Nice guy, love to be friends. That's it. It's just like this guy is like, I just don't think that we trust everything that he says. Like,
I don't at all. And I think like he has annoyed me 7 ways to Sunday this season. Like get off, like just leave already.
Yeah,
when are you
go.
leaving?
Like,
I'm so annoyed that he's still there.
Been this. Like this would have been the time to be like, I'm out.
It's why
the next morning the guys wake up to a text to see they're all in the Bahamas. Like that would have been the day to do it, you know?
It's why I hated this episode. It was just like, we get it. Sienna's not showing up again because she's never showing up because she doesn't like you, Shep. Get the net. Paige is telling you she doesn't like you. All your boys are telling you she doesn't like you. Sienna's the only person who hasn't told you yet that she doesn't like you, but all of her actions are showing
she probably
that.
has.
But it's
I
like,
loved Craig being like, yo, I got to call in the big guns. Babe, chicken, I need you to tell this motherfucker like it is. And Paige is like, put me in, coach. I got this.
Yeah.
And just lit him up. Perfect. Everything she said. Again, Paige, perfect. 100. And he still was like, Even at dinner when he was going around, bouncing around, I made that note. Like he went to Sally first and was like, yeah, she knows that we're in love. I just think like tried to get her. Then the Molly thing where Molly was like, so when Molly's reaction, that's what Shep's going around. He had it. He went to Austin with the first text and Austin was like, you're a psychopath. He went to Craig. Craig gave him a little bit of like, okay, that's cool. I love that. So he's just kind of going around searching for who's going to say, yeah, you did a good job. That's a great text. I don't know why she doesn't love you. I would love you if you sent
So
me that
poetic.
text.
Yeah. By the way,
Which is
her body
Molly
language
ate-
towards him was just like, Shep's an idiot. Shep's an idiot. Just go after Molly. But
No.
no,
Like,
hold on.
what does Molly even want? Does she want to, like, is she just trying to get laid? Is she looking for a showmance? Because we're here for that. Is she looking for a relationship? Because if you're looking for a relationship, you're not a serious
then-
person. I don't know if you suck some of your brain out and put them in your boobs, but like that is just like, that's not a serious person.
No, he's
That's
a
what I
train
mean.
wreck.
Like, and it jumps into the end, but like everybody pushing them together made me so disgusted and so like,
Yeah,
This
why
shows,
do-
this shows like the way they all bang each other is so crazy on these shows, and you're like, whatever, it's the shows, and then you're like, oh yeah, no, it's pretty gross and crazy, especially when the one dude all season long has just been a nightmare, and now we're all like, not we, but like the cast, you guys have been on this dude, you've been him for 10 years, and now we're gonna be like, hey, what is his tongue to? You should kiss it. Molly, you guys need this. He needs it. No, f off. All of you, f off. Stop putting this poor girl in the sights of Shep Rose. Like, this is
But
going
she's
to be
also
a
then in the
fucking
same breath,
disaster.
she's doing it to herself.
Because she doesn't, she's a freshman. She doesn't know. They're telling her to do it. She's like, I hate myself. Maybe this will.
Well, you want to know how to become a super senior? You say, no, I'm not going for this beta ass bitch.
Yeah, don't tell me.
And I'm gonna
Tell Molly.
She's not gonna do that. And so if we're going from do better, love yourself, you're enough as is, then just realize like, okay, if this is what you're willing to put up with or like even entertain that you could be the right partner for him, then go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't say we didn't warn you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
100%.
Like, it makes me, we can say, oh, this is just who you are. Don't fight the feeling. What are you crazy kids wasting your time, you know, like, because we as viewers see that we're not her friends. If like my circle of friends were telling me like,
I think,
just bang
that's
Shep,
kind of what I'm.
I'd be like,
dude,
do you
all
guys
of you
hate
friends,
me?
exactly.
Oh my God,
That's
all
kind
my
of what I
friends hate
mean.
me.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Is
Yeah.
like, you guys hate this girl.
Yeah, but at a certain point, if she's just gonna be pining away for him for however long, like, okay, great. Like then maybe her friends have decided we've tried. She's going
Yeah.
for it. Let's help her get the man of her dreams.
Our nightmare, her dream, fine,
Yeah.
whatever floats your boat.
Especially after they witnessed everything that they've witnessed. You want to know what's so lame though, and I know that this is like a total character bad trait that I have because I like this is just horrible of me. Whenever I see Taylor getting any joy out of this, I want to come through my TV and grab. I'm like, no one asked you, Taylor. Like that's what I want to say to her. And she's really just like she's really earned this.
Yeah.
You know, there's
It's
just something
probably-
about Taylor that drives
It's
me.
probably also like her reactions when Shep's in trouble and they cut to her and she's
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
most of the time I bet those aren't even real.
You know why I think it is, and this doesn't excuse it because I should still just be like on like any woman like getting like some sweet like just moment from like having a horrible couple of years or whatever it's been now, and then like seeing this guy that did her wrong like
In real life with
Yeah,
a camera crew,
yeah.
like that is karmic
that-
retribution if I've
totally,
ever
1,000%.
heard of it.
I think it's because I know that she would take him back in a heartbeat. If that wasn't the case, there's no other reason for this. There's like, I don't have any other reason.
I
for this
will
but
say,
that.
I feel like we are getting further from that though. I think her whole like would take him back stuff that she hasn't said, but we've bandied about. I don't know. I don't think she's as easily swayed to end up in his bed as of late. Just a thought.
Shit, if
Yeah.
she still is after this, witnessing this, then I can't help you. Taylor.
Yeah, no one can. Honestly, don't
Yeah.
even waste your money on therapy.
Sorry. How can you even say that when you believe this is Shep's redemption arc to make everyone feel so bad for him that they forget about last year? Why wouldn't it work on her?
Why wouldn't it work on her? Because
Let's just say it's all true and like it's working and like, or it's supposed to work. Like, no, we're going to plan this thing. We're going to keep it under wraps. I had such a shitty year. The Bravo, the whole thing, everything you said is true. And now we're working through this season to build this redemption arc for Shep to get everyone to fall back in love with him and feel bad for him. Why wouldn't that work on Taylor too? If she doesn't know what's happening, why wouldn't she also be like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
You're saying like this season, you're saying that you'd feel like they wouldn't get back together because of what's happened this season.
Yeah, I stand by that.
But then you're also saying this
not
season is
gay.
about getting him.
It is, which he has completely botched. I have said from the get, this was not some grandmaster plan that some brilliant like it did not work. He executed it the worst executed plan I've ever seen. So like everything that he is doing, I still believe is for the reasons that I've been stating, and we don't need to bore everyone with it again. But I do not waver from that. Like, no, it's not working out. I don't know if you've noticed. It's gone awry.
No, I noticed. I think we talked about it a couple of times last week.
Yeah, it's gone horribly wrong. I can't imagine this was the intended outcome. Yeah, I think.
What about Shep telling Austin that he goes off on JT like how he did, but he doesn't talk to Austin this way. And he doesn't talk to Craig like that. And Austin responding with, no, dude, these are totally two different things. Do you think they're two different things, or do you think?
Maybe they're two different things because JT is an easy target. Craig, it's like, I don't know. Craig's like the big man on campus now. Like it just seems like it would be harder for Austin. But I also still feel like he's been bitching to Craig this whole season. Yeah. Like there's not a lot he hasn't said. There's not a lot either of them haven't said behind his back and to his face.
I think I think Austin was right. I think Austin has hated JT forever. So he's just someone he doesn't even like versus his best friend.
I've been staying on this kid. I never stopped.
But in regards to what you just said, Craig being the big guy now or whatever, did you catch it when Shep came back from the bar and they were like something, and he's like, I don't know, man, Craig scares me.
Yeah, I'm scared of Craig.
I'm scared of Craig. What was that?
Shep said that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember in that moment thinking Shep is the Wizard of Oz. Shep is some ding dong behind a curtain with some huge mic. And he's used all the stuff, the Grandpappy's farm and the Boykin name and the fact that he's tall and there's one dude for every 8 chicks in Charleston. And he's used all of this to make him prop himself up and seem bigger and more important and more exciting than he actually is. And really, we're seeing that, no, you're just like some tiny guy with a big microphone behind a curtain. Like, you have no emotional intelligence at all, and you have no idea how to be in an adult relationship. And by the way, I want these things for you, Shep, but I'm just so frustrated with you. I don't know any other way to say it than just have no bones about it and just lay it all out there. And then I'm scared of Craig, which I believe he is scared of Craig. It's like, oh, but you were the guy that thought it was cool to name your dog after him. But really, if he pushed back, you'd be like, okay, you win, because Shep's like smoke and mirrors to me. I don't think he has all this confidence. I don't think he thinks that highly of himself when push comes to shove, because if that were the case, he would be responding to this rejection completely differently. I get it. I've mentioned 8,000 times, and when we've been talking about this topic, I've been broken up with. I understand how it sucks the cool right out of you, and you lose so much like just any self-confidence you had. It really takes a beating when something like this happens. But hopefully you have enough self-respect to say, okay, I get that it didn't work out. My heart's broken, but I'm not going to keep throwing myself in front of moving traffic and making a moron out of myself. Or this obviously isn't working, and I thought I was saying something to her that she's completely disagreeing with. Let me go get help, which isn't one weekend in Peru doing ayahuasca. That doesn't mean you're healed. He's like Ollie from the Valley who went on one retreat and came home, and he's just doing the heavy, gross breathing into his wife's ear. I'm healed. I have seen the light. Jesus saved me. And it's like, You went to one therapy session and one men's retreat, and you think that that wipes away the fact that you've been ignoring your wife, that you've been a terrible partner. It like Shep does the same thing. It's like, I did one ayahuasca retreat and now I'm ready for love and I'm going to write my Hemingway novel on the Bahamian white sand beaches. Shut up. I hated this episode so much. We get it. It's all the mess of Shep, and of course she's not showing up for the boat ride. And I can't even feel bad for him when he's on the boat because Shep's pattern, it's just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
It's, oh, I feel so bad. But then when you had a girl who was head over heels in love with you, Taylor, you cheated on her.
Yeah.
So you don't know how to respect something. It's like a parent that gives their kid a Range Rover for their first car and they total it. And then they give them another Range Rover and they total it again. It's like, take a bike, take mass transit. Like, you don't deserve a nice car because you don't know how to treat it. You don't deserve a good woman right now. You don't know how to treat her. You need to figure out whatever needs to get healed inside of here. And then we can introduce you to a nice girl.
And I don't expect anyone to ever really get healed for the most part, as I've stated a million times. There is something, I think that Shep has it in him because I just see all of, like I've said, I've always call him like the master of like the human condition. Shep just is looking for the easy way out of everything. So he's just looking to paint you what he wants instead of showing you. He's giving you exposition instead of doing the things, and you're watching him walk through life that way. Somebody the other day I heard call him, his nickname is Mailbox Money. It really does encompass like everything about him. Like he has these things and then just decides to probably, I don't know, do nothing with it. Like do
His
nothing
house is
of
the
like
perfect
real.
example. It seems like it's in a
like,
cute little neighborhood on a cute street. Do something with it. But he bought it as, I guarantee this is what happened. Bought it as is, maybe put in a new shower or slap some paint on the walls, maybe, because his mom was like, oh, we could do this. This would be cute. And I've got the general contractor for you or the tile guy for you.
His mom probably scheduled all that.
Nothing else to make it better or to appreciate the value on the home.
Yeah, because there's another check is going to show up in the mailbox tomorrow.
Right, he's doing just enough
so he
to
can
get
just start
by.
over on tomorrow's check.
But that's why I really
Listen, I get that, and I'm projecting. So
yeah, I'm fed up. I'm so fed up with Shep. Then we get into the whole Venita JT thing. They made that out to be like it was going to be this revolutionary turning point in the season. That is the definition of a nothing burger. When we talk about what happened, I don't even care anymore. I don't care. Venita, you said that if he was here, if I was dating him and he was in my apartment and some other girl said that she had feelings for him and he was even entertaining the conversation, I would break up with him. I would be such bad behavior for a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, someone in a relationship. And you still go to his room to hook up. So clearly it didn't turn you off that much. And JT, not for nothing, if you had a brain in your head, you would realize that she is the best option for you because you are never going to get better than Venita. She has so many great qualities about herself, but
I don't even know if she does anymore.
Maybe I gotta think.
I'm on Team Venita. I mean, listen, this is bugging me, and I want to be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, just stop. If I was with a guy who was talking the way he did to me to another girl while we were in a relationship, I wouldn't be with him. But you're doing the things that he's doing. Like you're straddling and flirting and asking him, well, we know that you want this as bad as that. Like you're doing all the things that he did that you said would make you mad if your boyfriend did to another girl. But I get you're single, but like he's not. So you're doing this to another girl. That's fucked up.
I know that if she was in this room, she would say, because she did say it on the episode, she's like he's sending me these texts that I've never felt this strongly about anyone as I feel about you. I'm so like infatuated.
Do we see those texts?
No, but she says it. And I don't take her for a liar. I don't think she's making up that he's saying that stuff and texting it to her. And then one of the other girls was like, right, isn't he texting you like about how much he likes you? And she confirmed it again there. And I just think, again, this is why I always give these people a pass making stupid decisions with hooking up. as to hooking up with people that are bad for them or not the right partner for them, because I could see if I was in a work environment, which this is a work environment, and you're seeing these people all the time and you're drinking and you're going on vacations. If I really had feelings for someone and also I was this age, I was in my early 30s, and I also have a crush for this person and he's texting me all the time being like, listen, like I just started seeing this girl, but it's not serious and I have all these feelings for you, but I don't want to screw it up because we're really good friends. I'm assuming these are things that he's saying based off of what she said. I could see how she could make this mistake, right? But even with all of that said, who cares? Nothing happens. You go into the room and nothing happens. JT leaves the show, and probably for no good reason, because he left that dinner, and quite frankly, listen, I understand what you're saying, but the bottom line is I don't think he actually called her a bitch. And facts matter. And the fact that he's being pegged for saying this and he didn't do it, Craig could say, fine, you didn't call her a bitch, but you were insinuating that she was being a real piece of work. And I don't think it's nice because she's our friend's mom and we care about her.
Yeah.
That Craig, all day long, I agree with you, but you didn't call her a bitch. So he does deserve even though I think he's a little twit and I want to kick him off the show myself, he deserved vindication in that moment. And
Just for the bitch.
just for
line,
the bitch thing, just for the bitch thing. And
Not
then also
the affair thing?
No, because he insinuated that the husband thought that they were messing around. You don't say affair. He says affair. He says these words. He says these words to women. Sally's just a no one to him, so he doesn't care.
But do you know who else agrees with this best friend?
You?
No, your other best friend, Madison.
Agrees with her on what?
On the fact that he should be vindicated, because it seems like Craig might have said some bullshit. He probably didn't say affair. He apologized. He's like, listen, like we can jump to their meeting. The fact that, like, I didn't know what JT was going to say to Madison, but to me, and listen, JT is a weasel. I don't fucking like the dude. I'm ready for him to leave, but he definitely made me be like, okay, you got my redemption, or whatever, however you word that.
You've redeemed JT?
I mean, a little bit, because I think he's I think he's a weasel, right? But the fact that he said to her, I apologize for sharing the phone call. Like, I just think that, to me, like, facts matter, little things matter, words matter. Like the girl on Love is Blind, when she was like, he just kept saying every time he agreed with me, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Instead of saying, oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. And to that girl, she was like, just that difference of statement.
I loved that, by the
No,
way.
I love that, but I don't. You're saying Madison.
No, JT's apology. Instead of JT sitting down and being like, listen, man, I didn't say that,
Yeah.
but I'm really sorry
Okay.
it got blown
I
out
get
of proportion. What he said was, I'm sorry I shared that FaceTime.
Sure.
I shouldn't have done that. And to me, that was the important thing that I was like, yeah, no, that's
Yes.
where it started, dude.
Not
That's
important to say sorry to Sally after she's sitting there clearly wrong.
I don't think
hardcore, and then clearly
Well,
said all
listen.
those things about Austin. Had to say nothing. Like, do
it
you
was
not see a
Austin's
pattern of like, I'm worried about the
listen,
people
yes,
that
he's
might
a weasel.
have
I do not like him.
say in if I'm here or not
That's
next
Austin's
year?
responsibility to stand up for himself when someone calls him a cheater. He said nothing.
Yeah, no, we cut right
Fine.
out of
but
that.
that's his responsibility. It's come up a couple times. He's said nothing about it. He's been on Watch What Happens Live, still said nothing about it. So, like, and he's a cheater too. All these dudes are cheaters. So,
Yeah.
like, he's probably like, we're going to go to the next scene. Like, he doesn't want to talk about that because, yeah, you cheated on your fucking girlfriend.
Yeah.
So that's his responsibility to deal with that. And JT, as weaselly as he is, in his mind thinks that Sally fucked up his friend's relationship.
If you think that that's why he brought up that entire
I
thing, and it
don't.
wasn't to get the girl who also has a boyfriend, who had a boyfriend before,
How about this?
like,
I think both things can be true in this situation, because even if you look back to last season, how it ended, and last season, take note, guys, was a great season. This has been a giant wet fart of a season. I think JT prides himself on, like, I have morals and good character and I'm going to do the right thing. And I think that when he thinks he's doing the right thing, he's doing it with a hidden agenda. I also do think that he is maybe, okay, when he was saying that stuff to Shep last year, like, you're an idiot, for what you do to Taylor. You're stringing her along. He
Yeah.
was completely correct.
Yeah.
He was stringing her along.
Yeah.
And
He lost his way.
yes, absolutely. Was he doing that to look like a knight in shining armor to Taylor? Absolutely. But do I also think somewhere in this pea brain of his, do I think he thinks that, oh, because I'm standing up for someone who's been wronged. And it's also going to carry the extra bonus of her falling madly in love with me. I think both things that you guys are saying are going on in JT when he goes after Sally. I think he goes after Sally because it's like, because aren't I going to look like an amazing guy for standing up for this girl who was wronged by this homewrecker? And it carries the added bonus of Taylor realizing the mistake she made by not picking me and going with this loser Gaston, who's also a homewrecker because of what he did. I think both are happening.
If Mike did that, yeah, I could definitely. Mike's doing the right thing, and he might get laid. Like that makes a ton of sense to me. I'm taking the pattern of things, and one of the larger ones right now is being that he accepted that he was. Whether this story with Venita is real or not, I have no idea. One day it's a storyline to me. One day it's like, oh, it seems like they actually like each other. I don't know. We have someone in our comments that said that like she says that they've never hooked up. And I didn't follow up on it, so I have no idea. But all I know is that somebody that truly hates cheaters and wants to stand up for victims of cheating and whatever wouldn't be a part of a story that was like, I'm in my hotel room, I have a girlfriend, and there's this beautiful woman in front of me straddling me, and it's a really tricky situation when that happens. Like,
but technically, they didn't cheat. They didn't
Yeah,
hook
they
up.
oh, get
would.
off! If you straddle him, it's over. Like it's not.
Well said.
No,
It's
I
been
don't
a good
mean
run.
you. I just mean like
Don't
in
tell her,
general.
Mike. I'm
Like,
just kidding.
and like I said, he says it happened twice. If that happened one time, you pick them up by their hair and throw them out of your room. I don't, or I will. You know?
Agreed,
So
but-
like the fact that it happened twice, like. What? Like, and then you were all, it actually happened. The straddling didn't happen, but you actually went to her house that day and told her, I'm feeling what you are. Like, this is all like
I think
inappropriate.
no, it's soup's inappropriate. I think JT is one of those people, like, you remember, like, what is sex? Is oral sex is
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I think JT is one of those people being like, listen, should she have been sitting on my lap? No, but like, we never kissed. We never did anything sexual.
Right.
Like,
But like,
I agree with you. It's fucked up. You should not be doing it. But I think he's categorizing it and cataloging it in a different place in his head.
well, for me, that is what is he's lost all credibility for anything that I could have ever thought. Like, oh, let's give you the benefit of the doubt. He's wasted them all. He's shit them all over the bed.
Fair.
And like,
Fair point.
but I know exactly the situation you're talking about, and I would agree for pretty much 90% of the world. He's just not like
Not
one that I like entertain. Oh, maybe you're doing the right thing.
I have.
You're not.
We
To me.
oh, go ahead. Mike.
Go ahead.
No, because you might be saying something about this, and I was going to a different scene.
I just like this Venita going to his room and that like their interviews afterwards. It made me think of a title for this season of Southern Charm.
Please.
The title for this season of Southern Charm is They Don't Like You.
Oh, they just don't like you.
They don't like you. They
No,
just
they
don't
don't
like
like
you.
you. Yeah.
Like the whole
whole
thing.
season if
is
it had
they-
a title.
Is
Yeah.
it just they don't Craig, they just don't like you.
Yeah.
Guys, he just doesn't like you anymore. Venita, he doesn't like you. Fuck
Yeah.
Austin, they don't like you.
Molly, you don't
Shep,
like
She
yourself.
doesn't like you. Molly, you don't like you.
Yeah.
Craig, you're about to find out.
You're about to find out. Paige don't like you.
That's
Yeah.
honestly right.
Like nobody, they don't like you. That's
Yeah.
the name of this season. They don't like you.
And this is why I keep getting so frustrated with it, because I just feel like we're watching
Yeah.
nothing. You're scratching. Remember when you were a little kid and your dad would be like, scratch my back. I got an itch right there. My dad would be like, Corky, you go right there. No, a little Florida, a little lower, or whatever, for the
I
map.
beg all the time.
I feel like this entire season has been someone trying to scratch an itch and missing it so badly. Like, I just...
No, they're all phoning it in. It's like it's the definition of phoning it in.
But I don't think Shep is phoning it in, and I know we disagree with this.
He's showing up and he brought a whole camera crew.
Shep has a bullhorn.
Yeah.
Like, he's the
Shep's
opposite of
he's
phoning
the
it
director
in.
of this season.
Correct. Like, we see Austin's wonky foot hanging out of the bed. were seeing, the remains of the party, but they skipped over everything. I don't know why all of a sudden we don't have camera crews following these people. If you can't go in the casino, wait outside till they come out even more hammered. Because Whitney was a nightmare in that casino. He could barely see straight walking in.
Yeah.
Shep clearly got so blottoed that he falls asleep on some beach chair.
No, but Shep got kicked out of the casino. Okay.
Yes.
So the picture with Whitney and Shep was 11 o'clock at night, 11 p.m. Craig's back at 1:15 a.m. Okay. On the phone, wondering where Shep is. That means Shep got kicked out of a casino at effectively 2:30 in the afternoon, casino time.
Right.
Like midnight casino time, that's lunch.
It's like 4 p.m.
That's an afternoon. That's a late lunchtime. Like if you get kicked out of a casino, it better be 4 a.m. or after. Otherwise, you're a full-blown fucking degenerate.
Correct. And I think he was pulling his Bravo stuff of being blackout drunk when he was in the casino. I think it was all that same behavior. And then Craig said, we were looking for, this isn't good, dude. We were looking for you for 2 hours. And he's like, thanks. It's just the Sienna of it all. It's not. Sienna isn't your problem with alcohol. You are your problem with alcohol. And I have a lot of compassion about that. I just think it's like Shep, this is why I say I don't think Shep is self-aware at all. And I get that he might be smart or book smart or could diagnose someone else, but it's like doctors make the worst patients. I think he's the doctor and now he's the patient and he refuses to get help. In any way, I'm not just talking about with his drinking stuff, because far be it for me to diagnose someone, but what I can tell you is you got not the best relationship with Sienna or alcohol. And this is behavior you got to look at, dude.
Will he?
Clearly not, because he doesn't watch the show. Or at least his bad episodes. And it's just like, it's why I believe him, because he's genuinely experiencing all this stuff, because that is so sad. At 44 years old, to be falling asleep because you are so hammered, you can't find your way back to your room, you don't realize you're not close to your room, you wouldn't have done, that's not an intentional thing. You could have gone back to the presidential suite and fallen asleep, but you are so blackout drunk that, and it's not this girl's fault.
He's pouting. He just didn't get his way. He didn't get what he wanted out of this
100%.
whole thing. I'm just going to go out to the layout here. I'm going to figure this whole thing out right now.
We've all
crazy.
done that once or twice. But listen, what happened? He came back in the morning and he had it all figured out.
Exactly. And then he tries to be like, we were out on the boat and we went past this $10 million house and she said, I want you to buy me that.
Mm.
Do you think? Could she be? Is it possible? I told him straight up, you're not good looking enough, you're not famous enough, and you don't have enough money.
But I don't even think
Sorry,
that.
Sheppy.
No, you do it though. You're not smart enough.
I'm going to tell you what it is. You're not rich enough, you're not famous enough, and you're not good looking enough. I'm going to talk to Jeeves. I look like a bag of milk with bad highlights. Mummy, I'm not going to sleep.
Anyway, point being is I don't even think that is like, even when Shep is saying that on the boat and sweet Madison's like, right, do you think maybe you aren't rich enough for her? I don't even I think Shep is agreeing with it, but it's not seeping in because again, Shep gets high on his own supply.
Yeah.
I'm at my wit's end with this show.
I know.
By the way, still going to watch all of it.
Oh, yeah, come on. I wanted to say something about Venita and just like kind of explain my disappointment with her. So like I've been cool with Venita all season. I was not a fan of Venita when she came in. She stormed in and basically accused Olivia out of the gates of being like either a racist or condoning racist behavior. Get the fuck out of here with that, Venita. She has since, seems like she kind of learned her lesson after that and has made good with Olivia. I think they're good friends now. She's been a pretty easy friend for everyone, generally speaking. claim, and then, you know, says that she keeps calling JT like her best friend. He's the person I'm closest with in this whole group. He brings me this joy. Best friends though, great friend, so close, all the things. When he's getting pummeled, rightfully so, when he is getting pummeled, he literally asks for an assist. Hey,
Help
best
me out
friend,
here.
You got anything to add? Like anything? Throw me anything. Like she, like I don't even know what to call what she did. She ignored him.
She pulled a West.
Looked away.
Well,
She lost her words. She opted out in that moment. Spare me your fucking tears when he leaves on his own, walks away after being called a little weasel fuck.
the
Who
shit
is
on
the
the bottom
shit
of my
on the
shoes.
bottom of Austin's shoe, walked out alone, carrying everything that just happened, solo, asked you for help, denied from his best friend, closest person, whatever. And now you're going to cry about it.
Yeah.
And then an hour and a half later, you're going to go up to his room, the guy that you completely just like did nothing for, and then try to fucking get laid. If you were a guy who did that, we would be on fire. If you were a guy that did that to a girl at a table and then tried to go up and fuck her after that. Oh, also she has, well, in this scenario, he has a girlfriend. I don't want to hear any more about your feelings for JT or what you think JT should do or the things that JT brings you, the joy, whatever. You know it's not a good look.
I'm going to say this, and I apologize in advance because it's going to start a big old fight. When Taylor's great, Taylor's pretty great, like as a person. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, like when Venita, like when he bailed and Venita was sitting there crying and she had the fan and she was like, just take a deep breath, da, da, da. Like when she's good, she's good.
Well, she has no choice right now. I mean, it's just like, this is her redemption. This is her season that she's got to make right all the wrongs. Like she got to check up on people. She's got to be there with the fan.
Yeah.
She's got to do.
I don't think
That
she sees
redemption
it,
story I can buy.
But,
As
her
but
redemption
Taylor
season.
does see it. She has said it. That's the thing about Taylor. I am really hard on her, probably because I miss Olivia so much. And I just think that was so horrible. What she, like, and bad moments create like, you know, hurt people, la la la. Like I understand all of that. I'm not innocent my entire life of those kinds of things. One time I was 17, just okay.
Good thing you got ahead of it. Because now
Well,
the
I
rags,
got-
when they come out,
I
like,
got
Yeah,
punched.
totally.
So there's that. Yeah, you know, maybe she
Sounds
just
like you
get
deserved
punched,
it.
It's over after that. But she has admitted I had a really horrible year. I did not have a great year. I understand that. Like she's acknowledged that those things happen, and I need to just get over this with Taylor. And I really think I'm close to it. I've been railing on her all year. You know, you get your aggressions out.
But that's where I think Mike is coming from when he says this. Like, when she's good, she's great. Like, when she was at the reunion, she took it. When
Yeah.
she had that really bad season with Olivia and she really apologized. She didn't give her one of those Bravo. I thought that was the woman who took the carpet. She doesn't give one of those Bravo, like classic Bravo apologies of like, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
She was just like, no, what I did was awful. I'm so sorry. And I appreciate someone who understands the art of a sincere apology.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm inching towards just like, let's let it be in the past. What's her name? Taylor.
Do we have any good comments?
Well, are we not going to talk
yeah.
about the 400-foot boat that Shep booked? That ended up being
It's called a yacht, Mike.
maybe a 38-footer. I love that he was like, it's a 400-foot boat. Dude, no.
Oh, I forgot
400
about
inches.
That.
It was 400 inches maybe. But that whole trip out to sea, what is it about water and alcohol that turns everybody into a full-blown whore? And I'm not hating on it. It's happened to me before, but like, what is it, dude?
Now
People get
that's an
psycho
interesting side note.
at the lake or the beach. Like, it's so crazy how everyone just jumped in the water and turned into a complete, like,
I don't remember that. Like,
dude, they were all like, "Oh, Molly and Shep should make out. Oh,
Yeah,
show
and
us
they
your
hugged.
tits.
Yeah.
Get
Nobody
us a fucking."
did.
Yeah.
Listen, nobody did. Which
I
it's
think
real
that
bummer.
you were
Hoping
imagining
they
this
did-
scene
yeah. Differently than it actually happened.
Mike's like Chevy Chase. He's like Clark Griswold sitting in the window of Christmas Vacation,
Looking at my pool.
watching the pool.
Everybody who's going to be
Licky,
swimming
licky,
in is the thing to say.
Well, that we're conflating two movies now.
Wait, what?
And he doesn't see Melikilikimaka in
Wait,
Vacation.
what
He's
is-
in Christmas Vacation.
Wait, what happened?
No, in regular Vacation's the one where they skinny dip in the pool, right? Is that what you were talking about?
There's that one too. He has two scenes where he's looking out windows. He does it in the Christmas Vacation. That's the one.
Oh, I
That's the
thought
one
you
I
were
always think of because of the Melikilikimaka.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when he was in regular Vacation.
With what's her name?
Well,
Kim
the one-
not Kim Basinger.
Christy Brinkley,
Christy
and
Brinkley, yeah.
he's eating the sandwich, and the
Yeah.
dog peed on the picnic basket.
Yeah,
That's what I thought you meant.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. I only reference the second one because of the song.
That's
Even
such a
though
good
the
song.
first one had a great song too, but this is just a funnier song to sing.
Obviously, the Shep and Sienna thing is the perfect example of how you can really see people don't hear what you say to them; they hear what they want to hear you say to them,
Yeah.
and it's
Oh yeah.
it's nuts.
Are you talking about Shep?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think it was so perfect that listen, I don't think Paige even made a dent in him, but like your friends can tell you all these things, and then like he just doesn't know Paige well enough to be like, fuck you, Paige. So you're gonna get just a different he's going to entertain her a little bit more like, oh, yeah, oh, okay. It doesn't mean he's gonna do anything about
No,
it.
because it's gone.
Yeah, totally. Because he says to Craig right before that, like, Craig, you're just so like, this is right and this is wrong. And like, I'm just not like that. And it's like, Shep, my darling, not a single inch of this is right. Nothing about any of this is right. Like, what do you want from your friends? Do you want them to be like, oh, great text, more of that, please? Do we know where she lives? Should we just stop by? Have you sent her an edible arrangement? Make yourself an edible arrangement. You got the shark necklace, right? Don't forget the shark necklace. Actually, why don't you put it on your dong and present it to her that way? I mean, come on, like, huh? Am I right? Huh? Like
Yeah.
that's what Shep wants Greg to say, as opposed to, bro.
That's what he wants everybody to say. That's why next week he's going to go to Molly like 15 times before he ends up on the beach with
Throwing the
Sienna.
chair.
Yeah, like he's just that's why he's popping around, because the first time he went to Craig gave him the response that he wanted. It was Austin that was like, bro, this is a horrible idea. Don't send these. You said what? And then he went to Craig and was like, can I read you this text?
Yeah.
And Craig was like, that's cool. Until Craig was like, whatever, it's another episode, but Craig was like, bro, that's not a let's give it some time
Yeah.
text. That's a marry me forever or whatever.
Yeah,
Something
let's
that's
run
around.
away together
Yeah,
and
it
get
was so
married.
funny.
Yeah.
But it was after
He's
that
like, see,
that Craig.
closure. And he's like, that's not
Yeah,
closure.
that's not a closure. That's a
let's run away
and get
together
married.
and get married.
So I think he lost Craig, and now he's losing everybody. And I think that's why he was kind of popping around this episode, pleading his
find
case, trying to find another Molly.
Just trying to find. I know Molly's the only one.
Craig
that's
was
like,
doing the same thing though about the lies. I have a note that he was like pumping up the jury. Like he's like his own whip, Craig is. When he was trying to go, like when he went to the bar with Tyler and
He
he's
would be a great whip.
he would. He'd be the best. But he's always trying to be like, side note, and like, well, here's what happened. Like with his lies, he's always trying to convince you, like, no, it's true. What I said was true. What he said was wrong.
Yeah. Okay, I'm finding the comments.
Before we get to the comments, there's like 128 comments. Are you going to read all of them?
Only the ones that fit my narrative.
Malikilikimaka is the thing to say.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kibosh that. I'm just in such
Yeah, I
a...
really wanted to sing the entirety of it. Ruined it. Court.
Listen, I'm not going to read any that say like, I agree with Natalie, I agree with the blonde's right, I'm totally on. It's definitely a redemption arc because it's like.
You
we
might as
only
well. It
have,
won't
like,
take that long.
No, we only have like so much time. And like, I'm trying to, not have an argument. You don't tell boys when they lose. That's rule number one.
We didn't lose. Oh, we won.
You didn't.
Yeah, we did. Let's assume for a second that this whole thing was real. That it was a produced.
This episode was going so well.
I know. I didn't
It's
know you were
almost
going
over.
here.
Let's
I
say
thought,
that it is all real and that it was produced and it's a pre-planned redemption arc for Shep, right? And they all thought about this and people got in a room and they're like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then she's going to break up with him and everyone's going to feel so bad. It's going to be amazing. I want to know two things. One, who took the risk that if this fails, Shep's not going to go off the deep end, hit the bottle, and become a fucking raging alcoholic again and ruin this whole thing? Like, that's a pretty significant risk for someone like this, for Shep Rose, because it's happened
Before.
many, many times. So like,
who
okay,
got on board with him doing a redemption arc?
like if this is a produced thing, like you have meetings, you get on board. Oh, Shep's dying. We got to do a thing. And Shep so let's just say it is. And they do all this.
I feel like this might negate it all. I have said from the get that Shep was a lone wolf on this. If anything, maybe Whitney. And then I took it back pretty immediately because I realized like Whitney's not the normal producer that you would try. Like he'd be worse than telling Craig. Like, I don't think that this was, they got in a room and met about it. I think that Shep did the entire thing himself. And that's why it went so awry, because you can't pull something like that off.
Yeah, all right.
So I just wanted to just save you the time of like, I don't think it was. And again, I don't know what it was. I lean the way that I lean on it. But what do I know? I don't know. I know enough.
Well, we're definitely having viewer votings from now on. That's from Jillian Hurley 6514.
Oh, yeah,
we agree with.
The second I figure out how to do that. V. Marie Michelle says, oh my God, let it go. Why are we still talking about this 14 minutes into the podcast? Thank God you finally moved on. Let's put tabs next time when topics take this long. There would have been 2 tabs, just so you know. But noted. Oh my God, just when I try to be convinced the blonde lady has a point, she pouts because her co-hosts have a slightly different perspective. I hear everyone's POV. Poor dude is like, I'm going to be quiet. Regardless, I actually appreciate the differing take. And then she says, yeah, levity, but I don't know what that means. Yeah, levity. That is.
Oh, like let's make light of it.
Oh, okay. That is Palaver Girl. She also came to our defense when other people were like, can you do this different? Can you do that? And she's like, excuse me, I actually think that's rude. I don't come to your job and tell
really
you what
sweet.
to
I
do.
read that. I loved that.
Totally.
Cool.
I love her.
I think this is the one you're probably looking for that you wanted to read by Jasmine or Jasmine. I think it's referring to whether Shep's storyline is fake or real or whatever. I think it's somewhere in between the two. Shep has zero self-awareness. His blind spot has always been himself. Shep has been out of touch in all of his romantic relationships with women and can never see past his own desires. In my opinion, he was in denial about the situation with Sienna. He could not conceive that she was not interested, given that girls had been trying to get him to commit all his life. It also did not fit with his own narrative. As far as he could understand, he had put in the work, losing weight, getting sober, etc. Whether he went to the Bahamas knowing she was going to break up with him is debatable, but he definitely understood that it was a possibility and was in a state of denial. Agreeing to film it brought him time. He likely hoped she would see the camera crew, meet his group of friends, and be enamored by the show, as shallow as it sounds. In any case, he knew the bare minimum. If she did go through with it, it should be recorded, as it would help build the audience sympathy and allow them to see him in a different role. He talks in almost moral terms that by participating in a reality show, you should be comfortable in all parts of your life being exposed. He has never been able to curate his own image, only tear down other people's. See literally all of his and Craig's relationship.
Yep.
I think that was really well
all
crafted.
encompassing.
Yep.
Found
Nailed
that
it.
middle ground that like took all of like the most poignant points of every argument, which all make complete sense. I think that everyone could get on board with
All of
really
that.
every single point of that.
Jasmine for
Just-
president.
Just go with it. Just say you will. Just say yeah.
No, listen, I wrote, I literally
You're Jasmine.
responded to her. Mhm. All of this. Yeah, I'm Jasmine.
I'm Jasmine.
But also equally
Also, I'm
poignant
Jasmine.
and deep comment by our boy Johnny Smiles. The only slow burn happening is when Austin goes to take a piss. Yeah, booyah, gotcha.
Where is Carly T?
Carly T. Natalie, I think you know what to get your hubs for his birthday or Christmas. Sienna might have one to buy for a killer deal. For those of you who missed it, she's referring to a megalodon necklace. Thank you very much.
Megla, don't come
Yeah.
home if you buy that for now.
Yeah.
Natalie replied to her saying, ha ha ha, you're not wrong. But then what if like he wears it? And Carly T said, make it a podcast only jewelry, which is the worst idea ever, Carly. I love you, but I would we'd be doing podcasts all day long, every single day of our
If
lives.
you're just like wearing a wife beater.
Yeah, and my megalodon tooth. Being
Oh.
like, on today's episode, Natalie and Carly couldn't join me, but it's just me and my megalodon necklace. Wow. Cool.
I just like Pepper 9075. I'm with the blonde.
Listen, you've chosen the right team. We will not let you down. Me and Minnie Poppins. Like if you need a character for anything, for your book, for your movie, whatever, and you need someone to just flesh out all the backstory and write all of the like his favorite's this and what would he do in this situation and that situation and how does he handle adversity and all those questions that you have to fill out like on your worksheets when you're trying to like craft the perfect character. Miss Hull. Look back at the time Shep lost control. When he screamed at Taylor for stomping the egg. When he lost it for Taylor laughing about JT winning ping pong. His body language. Long, heavy-armed, aimless walk in his head. That is entirely representative of his BX throughout his experience with the Bahamas girl. He was anticipating her arrival, and comment was made they could cut the tension in the room with a knife. And Shep responds, "You've never seen tensions like this before." He's not acting as he walks away. In his head, heavy-armed, defeated. Shep is questioning everything about himself. Did he ruin himself with his unbecoming past being broadcast? Did he screw up by losing Taylor? Is he now that guy in his mid-40s chasing girls in their 20s that he, in his 30s, said he would never be? Yes. Largest of all, he has changed his relationship with alcohol. To think this was all planned and he is acting is beyond me. Guy is lost, redefining himself, insecure, more aware of himself than ever being sober. He's a guy in his mid-40s falling for a girl who wants nothing to do with him in her 20s, who has made a total fool of himself on national television. And I don't think the experience is a pleasant one for him. I give him props for overcoming a toxic relationship with substances, an inconsiderate asshole, entitled, and now, albeit a bit awkward and uncomfortable, is vulnerable and authentic.
Pretty good. The only note from the editor is he's not sober.
That can I just tell you? Listen, that whole thing like,
Is amazing.
You're a writer.
Yeah.
Like,
By the way,
clearly you're
just
a writer.
literally just one. That's like me pointing out the like Oxford comma is in the wrong place.
Yeah. But the thing that grabbed me to where I was like, oh, is when she says sober and more aware of himself than ever. And I just thought about like, I don't know why. I knew Shep wasn't sober, but I just was so
Enthralled
I was
in
knee deep in a novel of just like I was in it. I appreciate so much like the thought put into this.
Same.
Because I've always thought that Shep painted a pretty fucking good picture. Shep's fired. Miss Hull for new head writer, for new showrunner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Get you in there.
Yeah.
Well,
Not reading the ones that are so into my take, only because I just, that's like me being like, oh, someone called me really pretty today. Someone told me I was looking super skinny today. Why would you say that to a couple fattos?
Listen,
it's okay. Mike and I are
Courtney's-
just over
you
here.
can say that to Courtney. She's not fat. I am, though. So you can't call a fat person fat. You can only call the skinnies fat.
Oh, Minnie, I love your stupid face.
It's so dumb.
It's so cute.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
We love all of you.
so much.
Is there nothing from Mary Lyon in here? Where the hell's Mary Lyon?
I think Mary Lyon's on
Where's
vacation.
Greco?
Greco's.
Yeah, where's your girl?
Okay. Okay. Are we gonna discuss the really quickly the elephant in the room that ZB did switch teams?
No,
Just-
we're not. Thanks for joining us, ZB.
Well,
Love
like
your
it to the
comments
dark
as
side,
always.
ZB.
Like and subscribe.
And, yeah, my comments to ZB will be left on the internet. See you guys next time.
Love you. Bye. Ciao for now.
We love
I'm getting some chili.
I'm having a bunch of Cheez-Its and a beer.
You had a
and
beer.
She's having another
I'm
one.
having
Oh,
2 more
good
beers.
God
That's
almighty.
okay. She can.